Hey friends, it's me, Pastor Doug, with another 1-minute word of encouragement for the day for today, Friday, April 17th. And today's word comes out of Acts chapter 4, verse 13. But before I read it, let me set the stage. So the events described in this verse happened a few weeks after Jesus had ascended into heaven. And his followers, people like Peter and John, were trying to figure out what it meant to follow Jesus, to live as a follower of Jesus without Jesus physically present with them. We know from Acts chapter 2 that the Holy Spirit had already been poured out, so these men were operating in the power of the Holy Spirit of God. And one day, Peter and John are walking into the temple. You can read about this in Acts chapter 3. They're walking into the temple, and there's a man laying there who can't walk. In fact, he's never been able to walk his entire life. He'd been lame since birth. And this man looks up at Peter and John and asks them for money, and they go, well, we don't have any money, but what we do have, we're gonna give to you. And they reach down and take the man by his hand, and they lift him up, and he stands up. Not only does he stand up, but he walks. And not only does he walk, but Acts chapter 3 tells us that he goes running and jumping and praising God all the way into the temple. Now, this was great news for this man, but it actually became a bit of a problem for Peter and John. See, the religious leaders and the political leaders of the day were upset that Peter and John were sort of disrupting the social order, and so they got in trouble. And so the next day, they're kind of standing on trial, and this is what happens in Acts chapter 4, verse 13. When they, the leaders, saw the courage of Peter and John, and they realized that they were unschooled and ordinary men, they were astonished, and they took note that these men, Peter and John, had been with Jesus. Friends, that's what makes the difference in our lives. The difference in your life and my life as a follower of Jesus is not whether or not we've been to seminary, not whether or not we have official theological training, not whether we know everything there is to know about the Bible. No, the primary difference that these men saw in Peter and John is that they had been with Jesus. So friends, this weekend and into next week and into the next month, may you continue to spend time with Jesus, and may that make the difference in your life. Have a great weekend. I can't wait to see you on Sunday morning for church, and then we'll pick these videos back up on Monday. We'll see you then.